Okay, so we are back into another Dragon Ball Super card game, Meta Staples. This one is for September 14th. Yes, I do have the August 14th. If you didn't know already, these are all cards. It's not a deck. I see those comments. These are not decks. These are all cards that are within the meta. So this is my way of talking about the meta and having a basically what's the word? Accumulation of everything to talk about it all at once. And yeah, I'm going to talk about more meta stuff later on. You know, I kind of stay away from it, especially right now. It's really stale. Just like the Shigesh days, it was very stale. So if anything, I'm going to talk about it now. Talk about it now. So last month, pretty much exactly a month ago, I'll probably do this every month, if not until like the meta changes. Basing on rulings and different things like that, and everything. These are all the cards. If you haven't checked it out before, or that previous video, go check that out. It's very much similar to this list, and I'll go ahead and switch it over to this one. Did it change? A little bit now, a little bit. And I'll kind of explain that. And this is kind of the issue with talking about the meta. Like, there's no real creativity right now when it comes to like beating the meta or beating the top decks, and a lot of that comes with obviously the design of leaders, i.e. Son Goku, and could be the next leader like Trunks or Hurugan or something else, you know. But also when it comes to like keeping up in energy, draw power, and defense, right? And the top decks have all three of those things, and to stray away from that is to give answers and get answers to those kind of decks. So that's why this list and the last list, and this is not like me coming up with this list. This is from legitimately like the last regional, Richmond and Portland at the time of this recording. And if anything, this is literally from those deck lists, like the top cards used from those deck lists. So I can't change it from that. And that's what kind of scares me when it comes to the meta. The meta drives players to play competitively and to tell their friends about it, especially when they're going to locals and stuff like that. So that's what kind of scares me when the stuff kind of remains the same. And when it does that, it becomes stale, it becomes boring, and most people do not want to deal with it. I personally do not want to deal with it, but I have my own answers and I have my own ways of dealing it, so I'm okay with it right now. So comparing it from the last one, there's only a few different changes, and I'll kind of go through all the cards, if not most. And the ones that I kind of stayed, so Mira, obviously a really good game finisher, attacking with 5k power and each card in their warp, especially with a lot of draw power and cycling with Hurugan, Super Saiyan 3, all these other cards, just attacking a lot in one turn, using Unyielding Spirit Trunks to extend your turns and getting a free energy if your leader card is blue. Son Goku being the one who can awaken early and stay there basically, and being the one who can control their own life and re-tapping 3. It's crazy. People move from Hurugan to this on a blue-yellow format because the thing is that they realize, like, okay, I have to manage my energy as so when it comes to blue-yellow Hurugan. Either I end it very early and they don't get a turn, or I mess up and I don't get the cards I need, if that's the case, and now I have to either tap my energy for defense or tap my energy for a Flying Nimbus or whatever. But with Super Saiyan 3, they moved on to that because you still have access to Unyielding Spirit Trunks, because you still have access to Son Gohan, which most people don't. I don't think really most people use in blue-yellow, but still, you still have access to Legendary Flute. At this time recording, it's not banned yet. Obviously, it's September 14th. It is banned or limited to 1 on September 21st. Won't make much difference, trust me, it won't. And you can just restand and just continue your turns for Unbreakable or Mafuba or Whis or whatever, Flying Nimbus. So, you know. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons why he's still kind of an issue. I still believe this is as of right now, this is a very quick summary for me for Super Saiyan 3 before anybody asks, and I know I'm going to talk more about the cards, don't worry, is that right now Super Saiyan 3 is a bad design. And the reason for that is because it contradicts everything that you have to work for in the game. So energy manipulation, self-awakening, the way that you have to use energy, and basically card advantage, because you get all of that early on and you get to continue that with that. In correlation with the, or in tandem really, with the Scrambling Assault and Goten, if we found an errata or which again, I'm not too big a fan of erratas, but if we did have to errata something, it'd probably be him. It'll probably stop a lot of blue yellow decks. It'll like the consistency, like when I talk about limiting and banning and stuff like that, that's what the meta needs, honestly. It doesn't need more answers. Yes, we're still early in the sets, but you need to, like, you can keep pumping out cards, but you need to understand where everybody is in the meta, in the local and in regional. So you need to diversify that, so that way more and more people can go out to those events. Unless you're going to see all you know, the same deck over and over, which is what we're experiencing, and more and more people are not satisfied with that. The errata for me for Son Goten is if you errata to Goku lineage. So now Bardock, yes, can still be used for Can Advantage and Self-Awakening, but at the same time, it's not going to have too many targets as far as 2-drops. So yeah, you can still use Videl, yeah, you can still use other things like that, but this really cycles through the deck and gives you so many options as far as that goes. For Son Goku, ban him, just ban him, it's all good. Like, just see what happens when you ban Super Saiyan 3. Honestly, like 100%, see what happens. And people will find more and more things to play things for free, play things for little cost, basically. And that's kind of what the meta is right now. Little cost, high value. I kind of spoke about this before. Anyway, tangent, that's gonna be reserved for another video, but it is kind of relevant to this video in talking about the meta. So anyway, what else? Science is Fu, still one of the best overwhelm cards, if not the best card. Overwhelm for 7, you're always gonna get that if you're cycling through cards. If not, late game, Double Striker with draw 2 and 25,000 is still amazing. Legendary Flute is still relevant right now because it's not limited yet, and it's still gonna be targets for getting back your Goten, getting back your energy boosted Mono Jabu for Mono Blue, which is not in here, but is still kind of relevant. And then getting back other targets, basically, or fluting back their free blockers, which is another reason why free blockers aren't really in here. Flute kind of gets rid of them pretty quickly, and that's why you can still use Mass Saiyan if you're playing a blue leader with Flute. Since the bean is still there, because 5k for the turn and untapping 2 is still incredibly strong. Group leader Pilaf. Let me get back to that one. Mafuba is still here because it's still one of the best negates in the game. People are still sideboarding us, especially for surprise decks that include different things. Raging Spirit Son Gohan, I don't think was in the last. Yeah, it was not in the last one. I included this one because of Mono Blue. More and more people are putting this in the main deck as well, even for Super Saiyan 3, because it's a Freon for a reason. You play 1 energy for the whole body, so anything like that is really good, especially in Son Goku Super Saiyan 3. It's kind of like Pan has double shot for value, but all the other ones like Kawaii and what was the other one? So we got blue, green, red. Yeah, that's it, right? Blue, green, red. Yeah, blue, green, red. Yeah, that's it. Oh, yellow. Duh. I was like, what am I missing? The Frieza, right? The Frieza, and as well as the no openings Goku. No openings Goku is probably more valuable than the Frieza. So there you go. Anyway, so that's the reason for him being here. On Sparking Vegeta, still people are starting to mainboard this at 2. It's understandable, especially with the mirror matches with blue yellow. If you have this man on the board, now they have to focus on him, and there's not that many answers for that, or there's not too many answers for that, especially if you get to 4 energy or 5 energy for draw. And for Mono Blue, when you play the West Supreme Kai, which is not in here, it's not incredibly meta, like you know, it's like whatever, right? But you get to get to 4 a lot quicker, and then restand 3 with Son Goku, and then get to defend him with Senzu Bean, Free Hans, and other things against Blue Yellow. And with him being at 20,000, that's already a huge answer, and that's why most likely it won Portland. Zeno still there for board clear. I'm just going to skip those, my buds. Champa's still here for game enders with Mira, and as well as just a surprise. Champa is good in general. People getting a lot of cards in their hand and then using their Champa for double strike, and then 100,000 or whatever stupid amount they have cards that they have in their hand is still really good. Burst Attack Son Gohan, really good in a staple deck or a really good staple in a deck that runs red, due to Zeno, and then playing him right after or the turn after, and then drawing 2. And just in general, you get to use your hand beforehand, play the Gohan when you have 4 cards, or 5 cards really, and then attack, draw 2 for critical. And then if you have a Champa, you get to go for double strike crit. It's just good stuff. Unbreakable still there for a free draw or an additional 1-cost super combo. Chain Attack Trunks because of Zeno and other targets for seeing hit. Still one of the best red cards, if not the best red card in the game right now. Choosing 2 battle cards with 35,000 or less and warping them for the turn, and then revealing their hand is stupid good. Kefla still getting more and more play. People who play blue red are mainboarding it. I did not have her before, but now because she's showing up more and more, there you go. It's just really good in getting more draw, putting on pressure. It's just so good, and it's just self-explanatory. She becomes 30,000 on attack, and it can't be Crusher Balled. So there you go. Bardock, already kind of explained in the last video, kind of explained in this video, he is still one of the best ways to awaken if you're playing yellow, if not the best way. And as well with Son Goten, it is the best combo right now in yellow. Like you cannot, like the value for these two is just stupidly insane. Because you get to self-awaken, take a card, which is always going to be a value early in the game. There's no downside to that unless you're going against like a quadruple strike Jiren. And then you swap for free into Goten, in which you can attack and then start looking for cards and then flute it back. So there you go. And if you're not going against green or something that has time kicker, Bardock can freely attack and then unyield and then continue plays. That is the reason why they do it, and why it's kind of annoying to deal with. Flying Nimbus, the best gate in the game, the best yellow negate in the game in correlation with Master Roshi. So what you do is Flying Nimbus, either their leader or battle card. The leader is best, drop 1 card, and they can only attack 1 more time. And then you Master Roshi, and then it's a done deal. Now you have combo power in the field, and you get the fluid back if need to be. Scrambling Son Goten, kind of self-explanatory. So the changes, again, a Mass Saiyan instead of Dimension Banisher Fu, because of the mirror matches, and because it's not very much, not very diverse, and people are realizing like, oh, it can get rid of 2 Gotens and maybe a Rasaroshi after. And the best way to play this is attack, bait out the Flying Nimbus. They now neg 2 cards, and then attack again. Well, attack with your battle card, bait out the Flying Nimbus, attack with the leader, draw 1, they Master Roshi, and now they have 2 Son Gotens, and now you get to play Mass Saiyan and then swing for 20,000 double striker. That's exactly how I do it. If you've been doing it differently, try to rethink your strategy, because that's generally how you can get the most value as far as that goes. You have to understand how they're playing their deck first and how to respond to it in the best way possible, and I think that's one of the best ways. I did include for suggestion Mass Saiyan, simply because that you don't really see energy lock too much. I think it's really good against mono blue. People are most likely to be playing energy lock Vegeta, in which if you didn't know, you get to take 1 energy from your energy with Majin Vegeta. I'll just put them up here real quick. And this video is for everybody. You know, I'm not trying to. Yeah. You get to draw 1 card and then choose 1 energy and add it to your hand. It does not say you have to replace 1. If you did choose 1, you choose up to 1 from your hand and add it to your energy. So you can choose none. And then Force Ejection says if you play something, and then if you play something and then they have more, which automatically, if you've been equal the whole time, you get the warp one, and then you get to do it over and over again every time they charge or force their charge pass. Again, you don't see too much for Vegeta right now, only because Super Saiyan 3 is still going, and with Unyielding, Goten, Bardock, and everything else, you really don't need more than 2 to 3 energy to end the game. So also have minus Keely Zone, really good against people who side in Crusher Ball. I don't think Crusher Ball right now is too meta. I think it's still a good choice if you're playing yellow. I don't see it too often. I like if we really take a look. So if we really take a look into the blue yellow, I want to say, yeah, blue yellow deck. So Eon Hill took first in Richmond. So like I don't see Crusher Ball at all in here. I believe this is red blue, this is blue yellow. I don't see Crusher Ball. I don't see Crusher Ball at all. Crusher Balling a Goten right now is probably not the best idea because of Flute. Post Flute, Crusher Ball should be really good. But as you can see from all these deck lists, you don't see one Crusher Ball. Sad times. Anyway, other than that, this might be the replacement for Flute. So a lot of aggro decks like Red Blue Huragon, which is going to be coming up, even with the Flute restriction, doesn't really need it too much. It helps a lot with draw power, but doesn't really need it. And that really goes for Blue Yellow Huragon as well, but still. Anyway, so this one still is still good because you get to send 3 from your drop to your warp. You do not have to warp or overwhelm, that is. You just have to send 3, so it can be 6 cards, and you send 3. You can still keep those 3 in your drop area to do that, and then draw 1 card. And then of course counterplay anything Crusher Bar or Cold Bloodless is still a good plus as well, because you pretty much for free draw 1 card and then have that added effect. Group leader peel off. So within the last month, in the last few regionals, I didn't add it to this one because it didn't happen in this, but people started using this in their main board as far as a couple different, you know, like a 2 of maybe, or in their sideboard against blue yellow. And the reason why is because they people forget that when you swing with this man, and you swap. Wait, yeah. And when you swing this man, you get to activate him, play this card, and then choose 1 keyword skill, attacking the card and negate it for the duration of the turn. You choose a swap, and they no longer can do that. Again, post Flute this will be a lot better if people continue to play blue yellow because of that. So when you're not able to swap, now it's in rest mode, and you won't be able to actually defend it other than wasting cards on your turn or your defensive turn. With Flute, you can just flute it back and it's all good, it's all gravy. But that's the thing, that's just the other thing that you have to kind of think of. Other changes, again, Raging Spirit Gohan, I added that because of mono blue. And my boys, my boys, is this meta now? Is this meta? Can we say that? I'm just gonna add it. My man, Teague, I don't know him at all, but if you're listening to this, Teague, if anybody does know Teague, come to my channel, man. I would love to interview you. I would love to put you on the channel and go over your deck. I'm more than happy to do that. I think he plays 4th. Yeah, he plays 4th playing androids. His deck was this one. Yeah, this one. So if you ever want the deck profile, it's right there. Maybe not deck profile, but deck list. But yeah, I added these guys because in my heart, they will always be meta. They will always be a threat. They will always be close to me and my purpose in this DBS life. And honestly, because they had 4th, they can, or because he got 4th, it shows that Android still is a threat. And honestly, I played androids pretty religiously because of Flute. Using speed of surprise attack and then KOing either with full power as well. The Bardock or the Sun Goten really makes them neg as far as Flute goes, because now they have nothing for Flute, and on defense they have an extra card that does nothing basically. So just a thought, unless they want to return one of my cards, which is always kind of dumb. But I mean, that's very situational. Anyway, for these two, the perfect for sell, you drop every card until you have 3, remaining in your hand. If your leader card is an Android, you already know the cell chain. If you don't know, look it up. And then Android 17, still one of the MVPs in the show and in the game. This man is crazy. A 3-drop under the 17-18 leader, and he has a barrier blocker 25,000 with Awaken, and then you get to KO a card. He is awesome. I just love him. So there you go. That's why they're there. Kefla, I already told you, just draw power and pressure, and then finally Mecha Frieza returning Terror. So people are understanding that this is still a good card. It was a good card beforehand. I mean, it's just a 4-drop yellow, 2 yellow, but especially in the blue yellow format, there was lacking a lot of removal, and with cards just being in rest mode, this one, if you play the card, you may place 1 card from your hand to the drop area. If you do so, choose up to 2 rested battle cards, the opponents, and KO those cards, and it gains double strike for the turn. So now it's a 15,000 dual attacker double striker, in which you can of course combo, which you will with your hand and other things basically on the field, and then go for game. So just a really good pressure card, really good removal card, and it fits well with the Super Saiyan 3 blue yellow. Then again, a lot of things fit well with the Super Saiyan 3 blue yellow. So that is really it. This is really more of an update rather than a complete meta change. I think like I've kind of already said my piece as far as the meta and Super Saiyan 3 goes. I'm gonna make a whole video on like limited and all this other jazz, but I'm very interested in seeing what you guys say and what you think. You don't have to always agree with me. You can disagree with me as much as you can, or as much as you want, and if you agree with me, that's cool too. So yeah, definitely like, dislike, let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Later.